Hey there. In honor of how many journals I have ready, written, and waiting, I'm recording 2 in a row. This one is from a couple of days after the last one from Friday, May 31st. The Mayan day was 9 Crocodile or Alligator. And I've got a couple of really yummy links waiting for you in the transcript. Okay. Hi, friends. I love to call you that. I feel we're heart friends here, sharing light and love over a cuppa, you know? Anyway, as usual, though not so much as usual these days, I don't know why I'm here or what will be said, so let's go forth together and find out. Are you journaling at all? Even just a wee bit, like little notes with a date on them maybe? That would be wonderful, for it would put you that much closer to finding the wonder of the alchemy that's involved. Source will come through for you, just as you see so often here for me. Source is you, just as she or he is me. Sounds better than it, huh? Of course, Source is also the murderer, the abuser, the Illuminati thug. And that gives us pause for a while. Don't be afraid. Be fearless, be in heart. Mind can't wrap itself around it. And that's where we'll be hung, awaiting our surrender of belief in mind, in what mind has to offer. 3D mind. 3D mind rides on the surface of everything here in this realm. It's what answers all questions for you, presents all ideas and all problems, everything, until we begin to wake up, at which point, suddenly, things start to look strange. Suddenly, we begin to see through them. Through so very much of what used to confound us. It feels odd, different. And some people get scared at that point, and they make a beeline right back into mind. They feel safe there. And that's what they're accustomed to, of course. So they like to live in the past. And that's what that is. That to which we are accustomed must come from the past, at least for those in 3D. When we spread our multi-dimensional wings out a bit more, then the future can come in and affect us just as much as the past. It already does. Yeah, I know, very strange. Oh well, get used to it, right? So, where are you in this mix of folks trying to find their way? Some of you are still back in mind over that comment that you've let mind get a hold of and now you're not in heart anymore. Think about it later. Come back down into heart if you want to enjoy this. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time, spinning your wheels. So, where are you in this mix of folks trying to find their way? How willing are you to put up with or even embrace some bits of discomfort? Must life always be comfortable, be pain-free? Says who? Who or what is it in you that is wanting that? Thinking it is right? Will you choose to step back far enough to see? A deliberate distancing from mind can be very helpful. If we're not willing to do this, then I fail to see how we will get our freedom back. If we only want the smooth road, if our belief system says that's what is best, well, friends, then we're screwed. Sorry, but that's the way I see it. That's what I see, so that's how I call it. We're programmed that way to believe that she has the best life, the best karma, or whatever, for whom everything seems to turn out just right. Well, let's look at that from a very light dip into the astrological perspective. That one for whom things always seem to go right, that one likely has many celestial bodies, planets, suns, moons, in the gentle flowing trine placement. These tend to provide the smooth flow. But what if we look a bit deeper? What will we see? Now, we could see many things, of course, since free will rules. However, what we could see is someone who never has to try very hard. Little or no effort required to get what is desired there. Different ones will respond in their own way to this, but it has a tendency to encourage laziness, to develop a worldview that's rather skewed based on their own life experience in this one life. Trines never press us, never call on the deepest parts of us, do they? They don't provide enough catalyst for us to delve down deep within. So if the rest of one's chart doesn't provide for that, well, could be what that one may view as a rather wasted lifetime when going through the post-life review. Everything was too easy. Never tried, never exerted the self. Food for pondering, huh? So let's look within, each one of us, me included, to see where we are desiring things to always go well, go straight, and go easy for us. Let's just have a look-see at that, and at what just might be riding under it. Now, I won't say why is that, but I will say who is that within you desiring that. Is that the real you? Gotta tell you, I doubt it. The real you is unafraid of whatever is in store for you, even unconcerned. Seriously, stick strictly with now to experience this, self and now. That real you, being source, is unconcerned about it all, really. Do you see or even sense this? If not, then go deeper. Empty the cup a bit more. Whatever you do, though, don't push the self. That would be mind. When Source is in charge of your life, you'll know it. There won't be any of the questions that mind gins up endlessly. They just float away on the wind, on the breeze. You are free. When will you know it? When will you choose to enter within? Your throne awaits you, dear kings and queens of light, light beings, not light workers. You are. Do you feel the isness in that? The beiness? It is there, but it isn't something mind can perceive. So do let mind go. Even if, just for the trip with the journal here, you can do this. Disconnect from thought. Thought is the main tool being used by the powers that were, the Illuminati, all the dark forces besieging man and womankind today. Now, sure, they use the physical body as well, trying to make it function at far less than the perfection for which it is equipped. But it's the mind where creation begins. Even the body was a thought first, a thought that was then clothed with more energy and lowered sufficiently in frequency to be made manifest there in 3D. It starts out at the highest vibration. By the time it becomes manifest physically, it's spiraled down through the thought and the feelings and the rest of it. Not that many of, not that many of you follow the link over to the written journal, so you miss out on the goodies I place here for you. So, I will repeat a link I used recently, one by Sacred Sarah, on the very nature, the very core of being, of what it is. It is simply awesome. And I do hope you will slow down enough to be inspired to click the only live link in my descriptions, the one that takes you to Scribed. We're always going, aren't we? That's a sign of being in mind. When do we ever slow down? Well, my friends, that's the nature of mind there. In the flesh, so to speak. That's how it acts. And how it retains control over you. Until you step up, face mind, and reclaim your freedom, your power, found in your independence from mind, well, you'll be bound in its chains, subject to its whips and pushy nature. Never one moment of peace. Well, rarely. It's all about choice. Yes, I know I've been saying that for a very long time, and most of you know it very well. Yet that doesn't help. Knowing such things, precious though they are, will not save you. Why not? Come on, look within. Why not? If you're in mind, you won't likely be able to see it. It's because all of that is nothing but mind in action, all that knowing. You can know the right answer to every question in the spiritual book and still be a jerk. And still not ascend. No shit. How many are ready and willing to take this in? Knowing things this way, via mind, is just not where it's at. That's what those spiritual egos running around do. So, I will keep singing my song, and if the melody repeats a bit, well, center down. Hear it from and on a much deeper level of your being. It echoes, it resonates there. It's an invitation to go deeper within, where your Christ consciousness abides, patiently waiting for you to let mind go. Wow. My fingers just stopped writing there. That's pretty deep. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Who here is willing to let mind go, to enter heart? Many there are who only think they're enlightened, you know. Don't be one of them, please. Distrust mind. It's a bit of a difficult section of the walk toward home, abandoning reliance on, even listening to, mind. It's not something we're programmed to be willing to do, and most aren't. Yet, mind is so slick, it's got them convinced they're on the spiritual path, making great progress. Oh yeah. Well, maybe, and maybe not. Who here has grace and courage to jump off this cliff? It's a big one, I know. It leads down some seemingly dark, twisting pathways. For a time, mind fights us like Hercules, bringing in all it has to defeat this new turn. What happens then? Well, it depends, doesn't it? It depends on you. Now, stop right there. Do not be in a hurry anymore. If you are sincere, are earnest about this, it's time you learn to push the freaking pause button, don't you know? Slow the heck down. Houston, do you copy? Are you there? Are you hearing me? Or are you only thinking you do? I can tell you for sure that if you're in mind, you just think you do, but you don't. This stuff is totally available to one and all right now. But you've got to slow your butt down. Well, there being free will and all, of course, you can do anything you darn well choose. But you know that. What I'm trying to get through past your mind here is this. When you can't seem to slow down or stop, that is proof mind is in control. Proof. Hello? You all know I don't mean to be rude. And I'm not to you. Rude to mind? Well, that's another thing entirely. And I suggest it's time you learn to be rude to mind too. You either take your power back from that sucker or you don't. I don't see any gray area. It's black and white. Why is that? Maybe because it's a mind thing. Could that be? Anything like that is linear, a 3D mind thing. All of the either-or things you can come up with will fit into this box, 3D. We all want to leave that behind and get to the good stuff, the higher dimensional stuff, right? Well, slow the heck down. It just doesn't happen like that. You've got the cart before the poor horse, my dears. So listen up. Stop. Take some little bit of time each day to just stop. To stop it all. Above all, to ignore thought during this time. Now, don't think you can stop mind, you can stop thought. Don't bother to go there. It's no use. No. Your choice of options is to pay it attention or look away. Again, that either or. But stick with me on this, okay? Don't go ahead. Don't get out in front of what's being said right here, right now. Stop in your now. Press pause. Do it whatever way works for you, but just do it. Stop. This is the way to taking a significant chunk of your power back, my friends. There is nothing whatsoever that mind can provide you that is worth leaving it in charge, running the show, pushing, always pushing you on. I will tell you that it takes a significant amount of determination, a clearly set intent to walk this bit of the way. The sissies will be weeded out, the insincere ones, and this is fine. They needed to go anyway. Educating and enlightening their ego is worthless, the way I see it. It's time for us all to be real with the self, honest and truthful. Lie to the self and you can and will lie to everyone else. It just follows, like one breath follows another. They are inextricably linked. So, no, dear friends, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. It is time to kick ego or mind out of the driver's seat, right there where you are. The sooner the better. We've got some rather interesting times up ahead, not too far off either, as in right now. Anyway, the more centered you are going into it, the better off you will be. And the easier it will be too, and more fun. Well, I have another odd journal that looks like I will be uploading after this one. It hits on fear and how we're manipulated into that. So buckle your seatbelts, tuck yourself in for the journey if you're willing to go. If you are, then consider this. Have you looked at your analytics in YouTube, if you're one who does any uploads? Have you noticed how most people drop out of watching a video after the first few minutes, as in 2 or 3? Isn't that interesting? What do you think is acting there? Firstly, it is mind fishing around, looking to be entertained or amused. That much is plain, and actually, it makes good sense not to stay with a video that you see that doesn't speak to you, doesn't resonate. So no blanket statements, no generalizations here, okay? That being said, but what if you're on a channel like this one or any other one that you sub and that you care about? A significant number of you still only watch the first little bit. The proof of this is to go out and research any video that comes in parts. Look to the number of views for part 1 and then part 2 and the rest, and see the numbers fall off. This is mind. Now, that is assuming, of course, you're watching something you care about, something that resonates. So, why is it that mind just cannot sit still? Who the heck cares? Just see this. That is all. Then, once you do, you get to make your choice how to go on. Do you continue on in the grip of the pushy, relentless mind that way? Or do you just stop? Do you call a halt? I can tell you that until you are willing to just stop, that you will remain in bondage to the mind. Harsh, but simple. I don't find in any holes in what's being said here. Do you? Blessings.